Welcome friends back into Mud's Closet. It's been a while since I've done an update. It's May 11th, 2020, and I brought all the plants that I had inside, outside, and I just wanted to give you a quick tour of what's going on here in the growing field. And you know, some things I did well and some things I didn't do well. We still will have a frost tonight, so none of these plants will go into the garden until tomorrow. But I will probably plant my beans and cucumbers and some of those other things today as long as I have the time. And they'll be fine under the soil if we get a frost tonight. So these are some of the tomatoes, and I started them in seed trays, 72 cell seed trays, and then planted them up into solo cups. This is actually, these are 2 yellow peppers. My sweet peppers did not do well this year, so I don't have as many plants as I normally would, but that will be okay. Those 2 are Canary Bell, so they'll be yellow sweet peppers. And then the rest of these are tomatoes. Beefsteak in this tray, and the purple bumble. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They're kind of a little bigger than a standard cherry tomato, but they're purple and striped, and they really last year produced well for us. More purple bumble and beefsteak in this tray. These are Joe's, mostly hot peppers here. And then these are San Marzano paste tomatoes, and this tray is also his San Marzanos. Just as an aside, there's my chives, and I have some mint or nana back in that pot. And this is hyssop, came back from last year. More tomatoes here. This is mostly peppers here. And peppers and a couple of eggplants. They're teeny. I don't know what they'll do. And then these ferny things are chamomile. These in this row are lemon mint. And then I just planted some different kinds of basil. They're starting to come up. I thought I would, you can see them in here. I planted them late, but I had the room, so I thought I would try. More tomatoes, and these are Cherokees and cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, I found the plants are incredibly resilient. And these are more tomatoes I planted early. They're a little leggy. We'll just plant them deep. That works just fine. These are sweet peppers, flaifli in Arabic. These are just California Wonder, and these are the most beautiful peppers I have ever grown from seed. I'm really happy with those. If we head over this way, there are some more peppers or some more tomatoes. Those are all Cherokee tomatoes, and in these pots you can see these little itty bitties. Those are what I wanted to have in these hanging pots. They're called and this one I think I cooked. It was hot one day and it stayed out. But those are sometimes called Mexican gherkins or mouse melons, but they're itty bitty and they're really fun to eat. They're not really a cucumber, but they're called a cucumber and have a little lemon hit to them. This is my pot of onions, basili in Arabic. And over here, there are more tomatoes, and these are zinnia, some parsley, some oregano, and some thyme. Those will be potted up. And then just more random tomatoes that I didn't have room to put in anything else. A few more little herbs. You can see the kind of ferny dill. This is some lovely sage. And these are some greens that I started early. And I have the netting on because we have lots of ground squirrels. Now, I'm going to take you to the garden, or around the garden at least. Please don't judge all my dandelions or our half-finished projects. I did cover a lot of this stuff last night, and I'll cover again. These are some onions that I started from seed, and underneath here is the sage from last year. We use a ton of sage in tea. Look at all that lovely new growth. It smells delicious. This beautiful tulip. A couple more onions. I really go a little overboard on the onions because I can't cook without them. And then here is my lemon balm. And you can see it got a few, a little frostbite, but not too bad. And I use that mostly for tea. And you can see we have lots of possibilities. And you can see here, those are some different types of radishes. I don't know if you can see these little beets coming up. I'm delighted about that. A couple rows of peas that are starting to come up. And you know, I can see here that there was a little frostbite in some of that, but overall they did really well. Some onions from last year, basili in Arabic. And here are some kales and some radishes. You can see them just kind of poking up. Those are the covers that I had, those sheets that are laying there. I'm leaving them there because I'll use them again tonight. Here are some more things. This was the floating row cover, and I did a video on that a while ago, but look at how lovely these things appear this morning. Really beautiful. All this at the end, that's all garlic. That's far too close together to give us any heads this year. I didn't get to them, but here you can see that they have some room, so we're going to have tons of garlic, or thom in Arabic. I started these two cold frames a while ago, and here with the radishes you can kind of see, let me find one. We're going to be able to get some out of there. If you see the little red shoulders down there, let me try find it better. It's funny because when I'm not making, there we go, when I'm not making a video, like you can see the red shoulders. We're going to give those a tug. This purple leaf is, it's called a red mustard, I think, red giant. And I planted it once, and it keeps coming back after it goes to seed. So it's one of the first things that we get. All of those are pak choy. They're going to mature actually pretty quick. We'll be getting those. This little guy came up from seed. That is a squash of some sort. I had squash planted here last year, so something dropped off and went there. And this one came up from seed, and at first I thought it was squash, but it's borage. I think I had some borage. Here are little tiny tomatoes, bonadura, that dropped from last year, and I don't have the heart to pull them, so I'm going to see how they do, and we'll take care of them if we need to, or take them out. These are Chyna rose radish. I planted them just maybe a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and they're big radishes that you can grate and do some fun Asian-y type things with. And then right here, those little things are tomatoes again. I had some tomatoes back here. Lastly, this is a hyssop that came back from last year. Lots of garlic, lots of thom, onions, and then over here I had some chamomile planted last year, and one came back up, and this was lovely. Every morning and every evening I came out and trimmed the blossoms. They're like teeny tiny sweet little daisies, dried them on a screen, and all winter long we had homemade chamomile tea. So that's what's going on in the garden today. What are you doing? Thanks for watching. Leave a question, share it if you wish, and know I'm sending out a lot of love. Take care.